Your car's gone. My name is Lennon. I am 41 years old. I work oil rigs in the Gulf. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Been doing it for 12 years. The money's good. The distance is hard. My wife Brianna knew that when we got married. I stood in the driveway staring at the empty space where my truck used to be. A 2019 Ford F-250, not new, but paid off. Clean title. I had driven it since the day I bought it cash after my first big contract. Brianna texted me while I was still offshore, said she sold it, said we needed the money, did not ask, did not wait. I called her straight to voicemail. I called again, same thing. I opened my banking app. The joint account looked normal. Our savings looked normal. I checked the title transfer app. Sold for $22,000, not to a dealer, to a private buyer in Tucson, Arizona. We live in Phoenix. She drove it 2 hours away to sell it. I tried her number one more time, blocked. I sat on the front step of our house and breathed. My neighbor Frank walked past with his dog. He did not look at me. I asked him if he saw anything. He shook his head and kept walking. Too quick. He saw something. I went inside. The house felt wrong. Not messy, just wrong. I checked the bedroom. Her closet was half empty. I checked the bathroom. Her makeup was gone. I checked the kitchen. The coffee maker I bought her last Christmas was missing. I opened the pantry. She took the good snacks. I called my bank, asked about any unusual activity. They said someone withdrew $50,000 from our joint account 3 days ago. ATM withdrawal. I was offshore. Could not have been me. I asked where. They said a location in Flagstaff. That is 2 hours north. I sat at the kitchen table. I did not yell. I did not throw anything. I just sat there. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I did not recognize. It said, "She's been planning this for a while." I stared at that message. I did not respond. I got up. I went to my office. I opened the filing cabinet. I pulled out our insurance paperwork, the mortgage documents, the car title history. I started reading slowly, carefully. I had 2 weeks off. I had time. Something in my chest went cold and stayed there. Brianna and I met 9 years ago at a bar in Scottsdale. She was a bartender. I was fresh off my first rig job, cash in my pocket, looking to forget the salt and the diesel. She laughed at my jokes. She did not mind the grease still under my fingernails. We got married a year later. Small ceremony, her parents, my brother, that was it. I worked, she stayed home, that was the deal. I paid for everything. She managed the house, the bills, the groceries. I trusted her. I had no reason not to. I was gone half the month. She had freedom. I thought that was fair. We did not have kids. She said she was not ready. I said I would wait. Years went by. She stopped talking about it. I stopped asking. I figured some people just are not meant to be parents. I was fine with that. I loved her anyway, but things shifted. Small things. She stopped texting me while I was offshore. Used to send pictures of her day. The dog, her coffee, something funny she saw. That stopped about 6 months ago. I asked her about it once. She said she was busy. I let it go. She started going out more. Girls' nights. Her friend Vanessa? I never met Vanessa. Brianna said she was from work. Brianna did not work. When I asked what she meant, she got defensive. Said I did not trust her. I backed off. I did not want to fight. Money started feeling tight. We made good money. I brought home $70,000 a year after taxes. We had no debt except the mortgage, but she kept saying we needed more. I asked what for. She said, life is expensive. I checked the statements, restaurants, clothing stores, hotels. I asked her about the hotels. She said Vanessa's bachelorette party, then her cousin's wedding in Sedona, then a spa weekend. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. 2 months ago, she asked me to add her name to the truck title. Said it would make insurance easier if something happened to me. I thought that made sense. I signed the paperwork. She handled the rest. I was an idiot. I called my brother Danny. He lives in Albuquerque. He answered on the second ring. I told him what happened. He went quiet. Then he said, I saw her at a restaurant in Flagstaff last month. She was with some guy. I thought maybe it was a coworker or something. I did not want to say anything. I thanked him. I hung up. I sat in the silence. I knew what I had to do. I pulled up the title transfer details again. The buyer's name was listed. Some guy named Owen. I searched him online. Found his social media in under 10 minutes. Public profile. Pictures of him standing in front of my truck. My truck. He posted it the same day Brianna sold it. Caption. Big thanks to a friend for the hookup. A friend. I looked through his older posts. Pictures of him and Brianna, not recent, from 3 months ago, at a bar, at a lake, at some mountain overlook. He had his arm around her in one of them. I scrolled further. More pictures, different dates. This had been going on for a while. I did not break anything. I did not scream. I sat there staring at my phone. My hands were steady. My mind was clear. I screenshotted everything, every picture, every post, every comment she left on his page. I saved them all to a cloud folder. I labeled it evidence. I called our insurance company, asked about our auto policy. They said Brianna called 2 weeks ago and removed me as the primary driver on the truck. They said she told them I sold it. I asked why they did not verify with me. They said she had all the paperwork. I thanked them. I hung up. I went into our bedroom. I opened her nightstand, and I found a burner phone. It was unlocked. I scrolled through the messages, Brianna and Owen, hundreds of texts talking about selling the truck, talking about me, calling me clueless, calling me a paycheck. She told him I would never find out because I was always gone. She told him they would be in California by the end of the month. She told him she already had the money moved. I put the phone back. I did not confront her. I did not blow up her spot. I just walked out of the house. I got in my brother's car that I borrowed and drove to a lawyer's office. Her name was Jocelyn. She specialized in family law. I sat across from her and laid it all out. The truck, the blocked number, the burner phone, the pictures, the money. She listened, she took notes. When I finished, she leaned back in her chair. You have everything you need, she said. File for divorce, ask for full reimbursement of marital assets, fraud, alienation. We can make this ugly for her. I nodded. I signed the retainer. I walked out of that office and got back in the car. I sat there for a long time. I was not angry anymore. I was just done. I sent Brianna one text. All good. Then I got to work. Jocelyn moved fast. Within 3 days, Brianna was served with divorce papers. I was not there when it happened. I was back offshore, but Jocelyn sent me a message. She called my office 6 times today. Angry, panicked. She wants to talk to you. I did not respond. I knew Brianna would try to reach me. She would use a different number. She would send an email. She would show up at my brother's place. I warned Danny ahead of time. He did not answer her calls either. She tried everything. New phone numbers, fake email addresses. She even messaged me on an old gaming account I had not used in 5 years. Every message was the same. We need to talk. This is a mistake. You are overreacting. I ignored all of it. Meanwhile, Jocelyn filed a motion to freeze our joint accounts. She presented the screenshots of Owen's posts. She presented the texts from the burner phone. She presented the ATM withdrawals and the forged insurance documents. The judge granted a temporary freeze within 48 hours. Brianna could not touch a dime. She panicked. I knew she would. She called Jocelyn's office screaming. Said I was ruining her life, said I was being vindictive. Jocelyn told her to get her own lawyer. She did. Some guy named Troy who worked out of a strip mall. He was cheap. That told me everything I needed to know about how much money she had left. I dug deeper. I pulled our credit card statements for the last year. Hotels in Flagstaff, restaurants in Tucson, trips to Las Vegas. All of it paid with our joint card. All of it while I was offshore. I sent everything to Jocelyn. She added it to the file. I also hired a private investigator. His name was Calvin. He was expensive, but he was good. I gave him Owen's information. I gave him the dates from the social media posts. I told him to find out where they had been and what they had been doing. Calvin called me back in less than a week. He sent me a full report. Owen was not just some random guy. He was a bartender at the same bar where Brianna and I met. He had been working there the whole time. She had been seeing him for at least 8 months, maybe longer. Calvin had pictures, videos, timestamps, everything. Brianna tried one last time to reach me. She showed up at the house while I was there. I did not open the door. She banged on it. She yelled. She cried. She said she made a mistake. She said Owen was nothing. She said she would give me the truck money back. I stood on the other side of the door. I did not say a word, I just listened. When she finally stopped, I heard her sit down on the porch. She stayed there for an hour, then she left. I texted her once. Your lawyer has my lawyer's number. She did not respond. I went back to my filing cabinet. I pulled out the mortgage paperwork. The house was in both our names. I bought it before we got married, but I added her to the deed 2 years in. Another thing I did because I trusted her, another mistake. Jocelyn said we could force a sale, split it down the middle, or I could buy her out. I thought about it. I decided on something better. I started documenting everything. Every penny she spent, every lie she told, every transaction that did not add up. I went back 3 years. I found patterns. She was not just careless. She was calculating. The 22 zeros, 00 from the truck gone. I traced it through her secret account. She opened it 4 months ago. I found the bank statements in her email. She did not even bother using a secure password. It was our dog's name. The money went into that account. Then it got transferred out in chunks. 500 here, 1000 there. Most of it went to cash withdrawals, untraceable. She was smart enough to cover her tracks, but not smart enough to cover them well. I kept digging. I found out she had been using our joint credit card to pay for Owen's car insurance. I found receipts for furniture she bought for an apartment in Flagstaff, an apartment I never knew about. I found Venmo payments to her friend Vanessa, except Vanessa did not exist. The account belonged to Owen. She had been funneling money to him for months. I sent everything to Jocelyn. She called me the next day. This is fraud, she said. Clear-cut. She stole marital assets, lied about it, covered it up. We can go after her for everything. I told her to do it. Jocelyn filed an emergency motion. She requested full reimbursement of all funds Brianna took. She requested sole ownership of the house. She requested that Brianna pay for all legal fees. She attached 140 pages of evidence, bank statements, screenshots, receipts, text messages, everything. The hearing was set for 2 weeks later. I flew back home. I met with Jocelyn the day before. She walked me through what to expect. She said Brianna's lawyer would try to paint me as controlling, as vengeful. She said they would argue that Brianna deserved half of everything because we were married. Jocelyn told me not to worry. She said the evidence spoke for itself. The hearing was in a small courtroom. Brianna sat on the other side with Troy. She looked different, thinner, tired. She did not look at me. I did not look at her. The judge was a woman in her 50s. She did not waste time. She asked Jocelyn to present her case. Jocelyn laid it out. The truck, the secret account, the apartment, the fraud. She showed the screenshots. She showed the receipts. She showed the timeline. It took 30 minutes. When she finished, the judge turned to Troy. Do you have a response? Troy stood up. He fumbled with his notes. He said Brianna made mistakes. He said she was emotional. He said the marriage was already broken. He said I abandoned her by working offshore. He said she deserved compassion. The judge did not look impressed. She asked Brianna directly, did you sell your husband's truck without his knowledge? Brianna hesitated. Then she said, yes. Did you transfer the money to an account he did not know about? Yes. Did you use marital funds to pay for an apartment and support another man? Brianna started crying. She said it was not like that. She said she was unhappy. She said I was never home. She said she deserved to be happy. The judge let her finish. Then she said, that does not give you the right to commit fraud. I felt something loosen in my chest. The judge took a 10-minute recess. When she came back, she did not sit down. She stood behind the bench and read from her notes. Based on the evidence presented, I am ruling in favor of the petitioner. Mrs. Brianna is ordered to reimburse Mr. Lennon for the full value of the vehicle totaling $22,000. Additionally, she is ordered to reimburse him for all unauthorized expenses taken from joint accounts, totaling an additional $18,000. She is also responsible for covering all legal fees incurred by Mr. Lennon in this case. Brianna's face went pale. Troy started to object. The judge held up her hand. Furthermore, I am granting Mr. Lennon's sole ownership of the marital home. Mrs. Brianna has 30 days to vacate the property. Any remaining joint assets will be divided equitably, but given the nature of the fraud committed, Mr. Lennon is entitled to a greater share. This case is closed. The gavel came down. Brianna sat there frozen. Troy was talking to her, but she was not listening. She just stared at the table. I stood up. I shook Jocelyn's hand. I walked out of the courtroom. I did not look back. Outside, Jocelyn stopped me. "You did good," she said. "This was one of the cleaner cases I have seen. She made it easy." I nodded. I thanked her. I got in my car and drove home. I did not celebrate. I did not call anyone. I just went inside and sat on the couch. The house was quiet. It felt like mine again. Brianna tried to reach me one more time. She sent an email. She said she was sorry. She said she never meant to hurt me. She said Owen left her when he found out she had no money. She said she had nowhere to go. She asked if I would reconsider. She said we could work it out. I deleted the email. I blocked her address. I spent the next few weeks cleaning out the house. I threw away everything that reminded me of her. Clothes, pictures, gifts. I donated most of it. Some of it I burned in the backyard. I did not feel guilty. I felt lighter. I also bought a new truck, a 2023 Chevy Silverado, paid cash, put the title in my name only. I took a picture of it in the driveway and sent it to Danny. He replied, "Now that is how you move on." I got a call from Calvin a few weeks later. He said Owen got arrested. Turns out he had a warrant out for fraud in California. Someone tipped off the police. Calvin did not say who. I did not ask. I also got a message from Frank, my neighbor. He apologized for not saying anything earlier. He said he saw Brianna load up the truck with some guy and drive off. He said he did not think it was his place to interfere. I told him it was fine. I told him I appreciated the honesty now. I went back offshore 2 months later. The work was the same. The rig was the same. But I felt different, steadier. I did not think about Brianna. I did not think about Owen. I just did my job. I came home to a house that was mine. I slept better than I had in years. I received a notification from the court about 8 months after the divorce was finalized. Brianna had not paid a dime of what she owed me. Jocelyn filed a motion to garnish her wages. Turns out she got a job at a diner in Tucson. Minimum wage tips included. The court approved it. 20% of every paycheck would go directly to me until the debt was paid off. I also found out she was evicted from the apartment in Flagstaff. She moved back in with her parents in Mesa. They were not happy. I knew because her mother called me. She yelled at me for ruining her daughter's life. I listened. When she finished, I said, "Your daughter stole from me. She committed fraud. I have a court order that says so." She hung up. I sold the house a month later. I did not need it anymore. Too many bad memories. I bought a smaller place closer to the airport. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a garage for my truck. It was perfect. I ran into Brianna's friend, Vanessa, at a gas station. Except her real name was not Vanessa. It was Claire. She worked at the bar with Owen. She apologized. She said she did not know Brianna was married when they first met. She said Owen lied to her too. She said he was bad news. I told her I already knew that. I got a postcard in the mail from Danny. He was in Colorado. He said he was proud of me. He said I handled it better than he would have. He said I should visit. I told him I would. I went back to the rig. I worked, I saved, I did not date. I did not look for anyone. I was fine being alone. Better than fine. 2 years went by. I paid off my new house. I started investing the money I used to spend trying to keep Brianna happy. I took a trip to Alaska. I went fishing. I saw a grizzly bear. I ate salmon. I caught myself. It was the best trip I ever took. I got a message from Jocelyn. She said Brianna's debt was almost paid off. Another year and I would be done with her completely. I thanked her. I told her she did great work. She said anytime. I heard through Danny that Brianna got engaged. Some new guy. I did not ask for details. I did not care. I hoped he was smarter than I was. I hoped he checked his bank accounts. I changed jobs. I moved to a different rig company. Better pay, better benefits. I worked 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. Now I used the extra time to travel. I went to Montana, Wyoming, Utah. I saw parts of the country I never thought I would see. I felt free. I also started talking to someone. Her name was Peyton. She worked in logistics for the rig company. We met at a safety training. She was smart, funny, direct. She did not play games. I liked that. We went on a few dates, nothing serious, but it felt good to trust someone again. Slowly, I drove past the old house one day. New family living there, kids playing in the yard. The grass was greener than I ever kept it. I smiled. I kept driving. I thought about Brianna sometimes, not often. Just when something reminded me, a song, a place, a smell. But it did not hurt anymore. It was just a memory, a bad one, but one I survived. Brianna ended up working 3 jobs to stay afloat after the garnishments and legal fees drained her. Owen got 18 months in county jail for fraud and skipped town the day he was released. Her engagement fell apart when her fiancé found out about the court case and the lies she told him. Her parents stopped talking to her after she borrowed money from them and never paid it back. She moved into a shared apartment with 2 roommates and drove a 15-year-old sedan with a cracked windshield. Every month, 20% of what little she earned went straight to me. It would take years for her to clear the debt. I heard all this through people who knew people. I did not go looking for it. It just found me. I learned that some people will always choose the easy way out, and when that stops working, they have nothing left to stand on.